I guess welcome to this little break in Trail of Cthulhu, where we're going to play some Dark Heresy. We're going to be running City of Lies, which is the first part of the module in the Dark Heresy rulebook. I guess first we can do introductions, and then we'll probably just do a little blurb on what Dark Heresy is and what it's about, and then we'll launch right into it. So anyways, my name is Kim, and I will be the GM this evening. And I guess we can just go down the line.
All right. Well, I'm Kevin. I'm playing a soldier named Yistark, a former guardsman, sort of a native feral worlder. And that's it.
My name is Chris, and I am playing a Hierophant, so a religious leader, kind of a wandering priest named Vortoth. He is from a shrine world, and he is really looking forward to spreading the light of the Emperor with all of you.
Hey, I'm Aaron, and tonight I'll be playing Septimius Julius Caeruleus, which is a bit of a mouthful, so y'all can just call me Jules. Grew up on Space Station. Life was pretty normal until I started hearing some voices in my head. It seemed to most people to be crazy, but everything they told me was true. And as a result, I could not help but use this gift from the Emperor to do good in his name, which led me to the Black Ships and straight on to Terra to be sanctioned as a psyker, and I'm here to help this here investigation any way that I can.
Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm playing Xandra Marcos. She's a career military. She was born into the military. Her father was in the military, so she grew up around bases and knew her path was to enlist as soon as she became of age. And so she's relatively young. She's been in the Adeptus Arbites. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Adeptus Astartes? Yeah, Adeptus Arbites. Only for about 4 years now. So she is eager to prove herself in the Emperor's name.
All right. All right. So let me switch over to this real quick. Hopefully this comes up for everybody. So I just wanted to go through the themes of Dark Heresy a little bit before we get.
Sorry to interrupt you. We're still on the intro screen. You have to drag the player's banner thing over.
I thought I did that. There we go.
There we go. Now I see it.
Okay. So hopefully this comes out for everybody. So everybody might be familiar with 40K in general. It's kind of this dystopian future where humanity is run by this god emperor. Humanity is kind of scattered across the galaxy and is beset on all sides by a variety of alien threats, chaos, which is this just maelstrom from these dark gods that also just want to destroy everybody, and a variety of internal threats, treachery, and insurrection. So there's like three main themes that they kind of discuss in the book. The first one, treachery is everywhere. The Empire is it kind of has this long running history of treachery. Some of the kind of pivotal moments in its history are based on big treacheries, which has kind of bred this aura of distrust. Trust isn't something easily earned in the Dark Heresy, in the Warhammer 40K universe. The second one is a light amidst infinite darkness, which speaks to the fact that humanity is kind of scattered across this vast void of stars. There are constant stories of planets and whole systems being cut off by various warp storms and space phenomena, and then being rediscovered, and of course people getting cut off by constant war and stuff like that. And then the final one here is innocence proves nothing, which is it kind of relates to the first one, that pretty much everybody's a suspect in this world. Everybody lives in constant fear of punishment, which of course kind of plays to the whole point of everything is that the players play acolytes to an inquisitor. Inquisitors, much like the real-world Inquisition, essentially hunt down a variety of threats to the Imperium and punishes them, usually extremely harshly. So the acolytes are just essentially servants of the Inquisition, or folks tasked to carry out the sorry, I lost my train of thought there. The tasked to essentially investigate various phenomena to see whether the Inquisition needs to step in. Either way, so this particular adventure will start on the world of Desolaeum, which is in the Askelon sector. So you guys, you'll all be kind of first-time acolytes. You've all been recently drafted, or essentially received orders from your various factions, wherever you were before, to come to Hive Desolaeum Primus, which is essentially just known as Hive Desolaeum here. It's the biggest hive on Desolaeum. I guess to explain to anybody who doesn't know, hive worlds are essentially just very densely populated worlds where the population is concentrated into these colossal hive cities, which stretch miles up into like the lower atmosphere and down like below the ground, and usually house populations in the billions. So anyways, you guys have all arrived in the upper reaches of the hive after arriving through the starport, which is in geostationary orbit above Hive Primus. This is essentially where you're all told to come. I guess maybe we can quickly, before we proceed, everybody can kind of describe their character, how they look, and if you guys have any questions about how everything is gonna, or any of the roles or abilities of your characters, we can go over that before we kind of launch into everything.
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the camera's on.
You're out of focus.
All right, cool.
There we go.
All right, so Yustark, you know he talks with a bit of a funny accent. He's kind of a strange guy. He's got some weird feral world customs. Seems kind of primitive. His raiment, his armor is looks like it was at one point probably standard issue guard flak armor. But at this point, it's covered. He's got like pictographs carved in it. He's got weird things hanging from him. Some of them you think might be sort of maybe like body pieces of people or something, trophies or something. And he when he gets really angry at somebody, he tells them that he's going to read them. And you've never seen what that actually means because he hasn't done it yet.
All right. Well, Bortoth is a he's kind of a mountain of a man. He's large. He's ponderous. And he is large in all of the ways. So he's overweight, but he's also clearly very strong. Kind of moves in this very purposeful fashion. He's not just bald, but actually the back of his head it has been replaced with kind of layers of metal with script in it, which, if you can read High Gothic, is just various prayers to the Emperor. He wears imperial robes, which are covered themselves in various holy symbols in writings, he is a incredibly friendly and warm and welcoming. He always has a smile, and he's just as soon as you meet him, there's like a warmth that's just kind of very present. He also has a gigantic chain axe strapped to his back.
Nice, of course.
By the way, my guy has a long las that has some like feathers hanging from the end of the, I don't know, gun
Barrel.
Barrel. There we go. That's the word. And he's also got a chain axe. As well. Sorry.
All right. With Jules, what you see is what you get. He's a tall, rangy kind of git. Grew up mostly on a space station, so he seems least comfortable when there's sky or grass beneath him. Whenever he's in tunnels, tubes, city, that kind of thing, seems to get along just fine. Wearing a large flak cloak and a combat vest. He's got himself a las pistol and a whip in case things come to close combat, but mostly, for these purposes, he's a psyker, which means he can mess with people's heads and can potentially do all sorts of fun and exciting things like conjuring fire and hopefully not conjuring demons. So we'll get to see how all of that plays out.
Xandra is wearing standard. Oh, am I muted?
No, you're good.
No, we hear you.
You're good?
She's wearing standard Imperial carapace, light carapace armor, and over it she's wearing a long brown duster and big heavy black boots. She has a shotgun strapped to her the side of her left leg, and on the side of it in white text is scrawled the word purifier. She has a few insignias, mostly like entry-level military insignias, like her marksman, certificate, whatever the not certificate. What am I thinking of?
Like purity seal.
Yeah, like purity seal. Like she has a bunch of purity seals for her accomplishments in her short career, and she always walks very upright and it rarely lets her guard down. She's always very reserved and professional, or tries to be.
All right, cool. So, does anybody have any questions about any abilities or anything like that? I know, Andrew, you just saw your character, so just wanted to see if you have anything you wanted to ask about before we launch into things.
I think I'm okay. A truncheon is that my is that like basically a nightstick almost?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's wood or metal.
Plasma something.
Some kind of like hard plastic, probably.
All right.
But yeah, just a stick with which to beat people.
So my only question is, do we get fate points back at any point, or are we just?
Essentially, they refresh at the with each session. So we'll probably, if we play again next week, they would refresh then. So you get them for the session.
Okay, great.
And then remember, there's two. You can like spend them, or you can burn them. Burn them takes your threshold down. Spending them just spends like a fate point. If you burn a fate point, which I think is like you can avoid dying essentially by burning a fate point, that means that your threshold goes down, and it is very hard to gain fate points. That's like extraordinary accomplishments and stuff like that. Probably like campaign rewards and the likes of that.
Okay.
So not to be burned lightly, but certainly you should try to spend all your fate points in a given session because you're going to get them back next session.
Okay, I see. All right.
Is there like a standard move list for spending a fate point? Because I can see my character can do it to get an auto success on awareness or inquiry. Are there other things I can do?
I think most of them are essentially bonuses on rolls if you declare it. I'll try to find the list. I think I have.
I mean, that makes sense. If I'm making a check or something, I'll let you know if I want to.
Spending a fate point is a free action and allows a player character to do one of the following: reroll a test, gain a +10 bonus to a test. This must be chosen before the dice are rolled.
Yeah.
Add 1 degree of success to a successful test. This may be chosen after the dice are rolled, obviously, since you would have to have a successful test. Count as having rolled 10 for initiative. Instantly remove 1d5 damage from the character. This cannot be used to remove critical damage. Instantly recover from being stunned, or remove all levels of fatigue.
So there you go.
Sorry, you were muted. Can you say that again?
Nice try.
Yeah, okay, I got
This
it.
guy's
Cool.
got jokes.
Yep.
And I think you probably all have either like somewhere between 2 and 4 fate points. I don't actually know if anybody has 4. I think it's probably mostly 3. But I thought somebody had 2. Okay, so why don't we launch into things? So you guys all come down through the space station, you guys have procured various travel here, and you've been told to pretty much meet up by this small shrine right outside the spaceport. As soon as you arrive there, a small thrall walks up to you, having or carrying an object essentially wrapped up in these rags, and whoever is standing in front essentially hands it to. So I don't know who takes the object from the thrall.
I can do it.
All right. So sorry, I'll have to bring up all your names here. All right, so you start. So he hands you this thing. The thrall quickly says, "Inquisitor Torst bids you welcome. You can find your task outlined inside," and shuffles away before you guys have a chance to say anything.
So it's a piece of paper, or it's a...
It's so as soon as you grab it, you can feel that it's essentially a data slate wrapped in some basic cloths. As you unwrap it, you can see that it's like a fairly heavy cipher locked data slate with the obvious little slots for each of you to provide a little thumb print to unlock it.
Well, Yistart can't read, so he'll give it to somebody else.
All right, I'll take it from him.
All right, so you can see like as soon as all of you provide your identification, essentially inserting your thumb so you can draw perhaps way too much blood for a simple check. The cipher data slate unlocks, and you see text come up across the data slate. So it says, Hive Decilam holds many heresies and horrors, and you're gathered here for but one of them. There are increasing reports of horrible deaths within the Hive's upper reaches, with odd items of possible Xenos or Archaeotech nature found with each corpse. Fellow nobles have related these were proceeding with bouts of erratic and troublesome behavior, and worried that a Hive noble named Lans Guljan has exhibited many of the same behaviors. You are tasked with the Emperor's work to investigate the deaths and possible connections to any illicit artifacts, determine if they have potential dangers of a wider nature, and terminate their distribution. Recover and contain any items uncovered, lest they corrupt others. Carry the Emperor's light with you throughout the Hive, for there is little proper illumination to be found in this festering ancient edifice. Decilam teeters on the blade's edge of damnation, and one further heresy could topple the entire Hive into the abyss. Assuming that Bortoth kind of reads this out to folks who can't understand, as soon as the text has appeared for about a minute, the whole data slate seems to start to overheat, and soon bursts, with small bouts of electricity. It kind of self-destructs.
Such as the heresy in this Hive.
Yeah, I think the
Even the
entire
messages
40k
were
universe
corrupted.
is a step away from exterminatus.
So one thing I should note before we get started, while you guys are obviously you have heard of your Inquisitor before, you know that he's the one who sent you here, you know who you're working for, but generally you don't want to necessarily make that a well-known thing. If people know that the Inquisition is around, right, they jump to the same thoughts, like whatever I say here, chances are this whole conversation ends with a bullet in my head. So it tends to, it can either make people very cooperative or not cooperative at all. So keep that in mind as you kind of go about your business.
Okay.
Subtlety is the name of the game.
So let me know what you guys want to do.
I'd like to examine any recent reports about the murders, where they took place, who the victims were, things like that.
Okay, so obviously the main one that they point you towards is Oh well, other murders. Okay. So
Oh, well, they mentioned the noble. I thought he was still alive.
he is still alive. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so you can make a. I guess you want to what? Check into the local Arbites.
Oh, well, I guess I figured we'd have some access to that information, but if we don't, then yeah, is there like a local Arbites we could check in with, or Arbite station or outpost that we could report in with?
There are certainly like various Desolaeum enforcers who are units of the Adeptus Arbites. You could try to check in with them. There's also like lower levels of local law enforcement.
Perhaps it'd be beneficial to gather information before we go speak with this noble. Really figure out what's going on here.
Lead the way.
All right.
Whatever you
Do I
think
know?
is best.
Do I know where this local one of these enforcers would be located?
Let's say you probably you have a general idea of how to find them. Said you guys are in the upper reaches of the hive, the nice part, some would say. So things are generally orderly. You can easily find an Arbite station or ask a nearby patrol where you might find a station.
Okay. And just curious, is it like taboo to have guns on us?
No.
Okay.
Not
Great.
No, it's. I mean, I guess in some parts of like the really high apex of the hive, maybe it would be uncouth to be carrying something like gigantic around. Certainly for like an Adeptus Arbites like yourself, it would be expected. Might be weirder if you didn't have a gun.
You'd probably get some looks if you're carrying a las cannon around, but short of that, you should be all right.
Yeah.
And certainly, you guys maybe not being familiar with this particular hive, but hives in general, in the lower reaches of the hive, you almost have to assume that everybody's armed with something or another. If they can afford a gun, they probably have one.
Okay. So are we in the we're in the open air, or we are just inside?
You guys are inside. There's kind of Desolaeum in general is wherever there's not hive. Like the hive is like probably something like 5 or 6 miles tall, and several, or probably wider than it is tall. So it's gigantic. Anywhere that isn't hive on Desolaeum is pretty much barren wasteland. As you guys flew in, you guys don't know much about Desolaeum, but you saw these ancient structures kind of out in the wastes, and it is known that sometime before humans arrived, there was some kind of ancient Xeno civilization on this planet, but it's been like long since destroyed. It was all like artifacts and ruins by the time humans settled here. And now it's primarily 3 big hives housing somewhere around 300 billion people. So Andrew, why don't you make a routine inquiry test to see what you can find out about the goings on. So routine means you get a plus 20.
Plus 20, all right.
So you essentially add that to your inquiry skill, and then you roll to see if you can get under it.
All right, my inquiry skill is based on fellowship.
Based
All right,
on fellowship.
so 5, well under, by
Okay.
about
Yeah.
5
What it
degrees.
is.
So that's very good. By the way, whenever it mentions degrees of success, the degrees of success is the difference
I had a
between.
52, so I succeeded by 4 degrees, I believe. Is it right?
Actually,
5?
you get 1 degree automatically, and then it's the difference between 5 and, I guess in this case, 0. So you actually get 6 degrees of success.
Great.
Do you want to do it eclipse phase style, where you just count up instead of having to like subtract? I guess whatever. However you think is best.
We'll be fine.
Okay.
I don't know. Like degrees of success doesn't always matter.
Okay.
Generally, you just want to get under, but of course, there are certain times when.
So
when-
just to check in on the math on this first one, Andrew, you had what was your base fellowship?
32.
32. And were you trained in inquiry?
Yep.
All right. So you were just trained, which means you don't get a negative modifier, and then you get the plus 20 modifier for it being routine. So what you're shooting for is something that's under 52. And in this case, we rolled a 5. You get, like we said, 1 degree of success automatically for succeeding the check, and then an extra 5 because we're looking at the tens columns.
Right.
So anytime you have a success or a failure, you're going to check the degrees of success and or failure, and that's going to tell you just how impressively you succeeded or screwed things up. All right, take it away, Kim.
Okay, so you kind of run into an Arbeit sergeant who is always happy to see fresh blood and is more than willing to share the details of what's been going on. He's been part of a couple of investigations so far. He says that it seems to be that there's a sorry. What's the word I'm looking for?
Foul heretic.
A pattern. There's a pattern of these murders that have been amongst the nobles. It seems to be that a lot of these nobles they get bored, and what they seem to occupy their time with is getting these strange artifacts that they don't know how to handle, and as a result, they end up dead in various bizarre ways. He also happens to have information on Gul'jan, which he shares readily. That Gul'jan hasn't been. He's been more and more reclusive, and like usually nobles in Hive Dissalam like to kind of go out and show off their opulence, especially when the rich ones. And Gul'jan is the house of Gul'jan used to be one of the more prominent houses in Hive Dissalam, and now it's kind of fallen into disarray under Lance, and he hasn't been seen out recently.
And Val de now.
Well, so there's still a manor, Hesentan's manor, where the House of Gul'jan lives. As he mentioned, it's been it's in a state of disarray, somewhat unbefitting a noble house of Hive Dissalam.
I will go there and speak with him.
Sometimes it's best to go straight to the source if you want information about what's going on.
Agreed.
All right. So the Hesentan's manor is only a few levels away. You guys find it quite easily. When you arrive, so it's clear at a glance that Gul'jan's manse has seen better days. Crumbling stonework and tarnished plasteel show a shocking degree of neglect. 2 lumen globes, one flickering intermittently, illuminate the large arched doorway, which houses a set of heavy wooden doors inlaid with elaborate carvings of a mythical wasteland beasts from Dissalam's most ancient legends. A short flight of broad steps lead to the doors, set with a knocker cast in the form of a coiled serpent.
I knock.
All right. So,
You're the
so
one who
like
knocks.
you hear
I knock with my
the
fist,
giant.
though, not with this stupid newfangled technology.
I don't touch snakes.
All right, so pretty quickly, you hear these heavy knocks on these gigantic doors, and pretty quickly it like cracks open, and a small kind of meek servitor opens. Not servitor, just a servant opens the door and kind of looks up at you. Says, "Yes."
So, Where is your master?
Take quickly. Everybody do a routine scrutiny test for +20. Just let me know if you succeed. I don't
Yes.
think you-
Yep.
No.
All right. So those of you who succeed can kind of tell that the servant is nervous and quite fearful of whoever you are. After kind of a moment of stunned silence, he says, well, who might I say is inquiring?"
I will kind of force myself into the door past Eastark, and say, we are friends of the Emperor, much like your master. Come to call upon him. We
Kevin,
wish to speak of some affairs of the Hive, and we would like to speak with him immediately.
A totally social call with no urgency to it, but we're gonna need to talk to you right now. Just like no delay. Anyway.
Well, we are here on the Emperor's business, but are we not all on the Emperor's business, friend?
All the time.
So he's kind of easily backs up as you kind of push your way in. Make a no, I guess. What skill would you be using?
Charm,
Combination of charm and deceive.
Well, it's not exactly deceive.
It's
Well,
not exactly
I don't think it's deceive.
It says specifically that if you're saying something that your character thinks is true, that doesn't fall under the heading of deceive. It's like when it's talking about deceive in the book.
Let's do it. So he kind of he backs up as you guys follow him in, and he says, what might I tell my master you're here about specifically?"
We wish to speak with him.
Nothing that should concern someone of your stature. Just let him know we're here.
All right, make a command roll with a +20 modifier.
What's it? Fellowship. That is a success.
Okay. So
One
kind of
degree.
the
But I 67 with the modifier. So.
all right. So he kind of quickly says, "Okay, please wait here." He kind of scuffles up these set of stairs and disappears into the darkness. So you guys all kind of standing. Yeah. So you guys like pass through the doors, and you can see that you walk into this foyer. There's these two set of stairs. You can quickly see that there's a guy who seems to be wearing it's most likely a guard's uniform. You see the Gul'jan symbol on his chest, standing on the walkway above, kind of looking down at you without saying anything. The Acolyte seems to disappear into the darkness. The place has definitely seen much better days. What looks like it's all made out of fine material, finely carved wooden stairs, granite floors, various paintings and tapestries along the walls, but everything's in tatters. Everything seems like it hasn't been cleaned in a while. There's like bits of debris in the corners and things like that. Just a lack of maintenance. It seems like somebody stopped caring a little while ago.
All right, I'll walk up to this guardsman.
He's standing like on the floor above you guys, leaning over the railing, staring at you.
Are there stairs up?
Yeah.
I'll walk up the stairs.
Okay. He kind of calls out to you and says, "Please wait while the servant will report back momentarily."
All right, I kill him. No. Not gonna sandbag me.
For the Emperor!
All right, yeah, and I guess we wait. I'll look around, but I don't really have any cultural context for anything that's happening here. So
I will shake my head disapprovingly at the Tatter, and I'll comment. Oh, you know that maintaining the royal houses of the Emperor is of the utmost importance. This is a disgrace. What has happened here? I ask no one.
Yeah, the guard seems to be uninterested. He just kind of is silently keeping an eye on you. After about a minute, the servant returns. Make a ordinary awareness test. As he's rushing back to you guys.
Ordinary being plus nothing.
Plus 10, actually. Ordinary is plus 10.
What if we're not trained? Do we get...
Yeah, penalty?
You get minus 10 if you do
get
something with a skill that you're not trained on.
Yeah, trained essentially gets you to nothing.
Alright, I make it...
I am distracted by the tapestries.
Oh, I just miss it.
50...
Oh, do you have 35?
Yeah, I do. I got a 36.
I make it with 5 degrees of success, something like that.
Wow.
Did anybody else make it? No. Okay, so Jules, you can see
sorry,
that...
I was muted. I'm sorry. I did, but I can re-roll it.
No, that's fine.
You're
You're cutting in and out, I think. Still can't hear you.
This is like the greatest joke ever, actually.
Wait,
It's just
no, it was muted on Roll20, and I unmuted it. Anyway,
so
nothing
you're a
happened. I
dumbass.
failed twice. I failed much harder than the first time.
All
No,
right.
you can
Why'd
use
you
your
re-roll
original
it, though?
roll.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I re-rolled it because I have a talent that says Keen Intuition, re-roll awareness with a minus 10 modifier.
All right.
So
Oh, you
No,
failed both
okay.
times.
I failed harder the second time.
Okay. All right. So the servant comes kind of rushing back to you guys. He's got his hood is like up this time. He's trying to hide his face, but Jules, you kind of somehow you can maybe both sense and you can kind of see on his face that obviously he has just seen something rather disturbing. And he quickly says, I'm very sorry, gentlemen. I'm so sorry. I must apologize for the House of Gul'jan, but the master cannot see you right now. You must unfortunately leave. So sorry. Please come back some other time. And he kind of tries to usher you guys to the door. Jules, you also notice because you got it's quite a good roll, right? You notice that the guard that was watching you, he seems to have left for somewhere. So the servant kind of tries to like usher you guys to the door and quickly turns around and runs back upstairs.
So we're still standing in the house.
Yeah, you guys are like standing right in the door. The servant didn't really seem to even wait to make sure that you guys left. He just kind of tried to like usher you and then like turn around and ran back upstairs.
Well, I mean, he told us to leave. You know, it'd be rude to stay. So we'll just.
Although
I have to tell you guys,
It's a
it
dead
seemed
end.
to me that there was something that had gone wrong there, and I don't know whether you noticed, but the guard had left before the servant even finished ushering us towards the door. So it may be that there's someone in trouble in this house, and certainly when we didn't give them any reason to think that we could be of help, there's no reason for them to think that we're anything other than a friendly calling merchant party or one of the other nobles here. But as is, it may be our responsibility to go see if there's anything we can do.
So as to punctuate what Jules says, you hear a very loud scream coming from upstairs. Almost very chilling and unnatural scream.
All right. Well, Yistarks is gonna have to read some people. It seems like. So we're gonna go upstairs.
It's reading
I'll
time.
pull out the purifier.
Kim, just in the realm of unnatural, I have Science, I guess is what it's called. So if there's at some point some chance that something funky is going on with the warp, let me know and I'll make a roll to see whether Jules has any ability to detect it. If it's completely unrelated, then say no more.
Okay, all right, I'll keep that in mind. All
right.
So you guys, I guess, rush to the source of the screaming, or do you want to do anything else?
No, I mean it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's urgent.
Seems
Yeah.
like
So
someone's in trouble.
Yistark will just like unhook his long las from his back.
I will unhook my chain axe.
Sure.
Jules doesn't draw any weapons.
So just make sure Andrew's back here. Okay.
Just for clarification, so everyone knows what a chain axe is. So there's a whole realm of chainsaw weapons in 40k. A chain axe is basically a pole axe that is also a chainsaw. So every part of it that is a blade is also involves some kind of terrifying bladed chain thing. So just to clarify what that is.
It's not just an axe that has chains
Not
on
just an axe with chains. No.
That would be less
the
exciting.
chainsaw part is also much more brutal than a regular chainsaw.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the chains themselves have like hooks and like they're very they're not really focused on like manual labor. It's not really the primary.
It's not so much a practical tool as it is a.
No.
Well, I mean, in terms of doing the Emperor's manual labor.
It's focused on a good, clean death.
Aren't we all
I
the
don't think
Emperor's
that's-
hands?
I don't think that's fact.
Cleanliness is probably not
Talking about
thing that we're
Cleanliness
worrying
is
about.
not next to the Emperor.
It's
I
cleaner
mean-
than my shotgun.
It depends on like what you roll on the critical hit for the head table. That tells you everything.
We'll see whether we get there sometime. All right, so you guys rush upstairs. As soon as you get up, there's like a long hallway going across, and you down in the direction of where the screaming came from, you see like an open door with light kind of pouring out into the dark hallway. So you guys rush down there into what seems like a study. So as soon as you guys kind of burst through the door, weapons weapons out.
Set in Jedi
So
throw a
that-
grenade.
The study before you is a scene of chaos. Embossed books and fine quills are strewn about haphazardly, while parchment, ink, and a lamp has been knocked from the desk, leaving only a small black orb sitting atop it. Kneeling on the floor, a man in ripped and shredded finery screams and babbles incoherently as he claws at his own face. His lips are ripped to tatters, and blood streams from numerous cuts and tears across his face. Lying near him is a bloody letter opener and two pulped white globes, his eyes.
All right, this guy's
So-
got red.
The first thing that happens is that you guys will have to take a fear test, which is on your willpower. Now it's just fear 1, so I don't think you guys get any kind of penalty for this.
I have resistant fear.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, so
Yistark
that-
is jaded.
I don't know what that does.
So you guys, I guess, get bonuses.
I think
I
I don't
assume
have to
so.
take minor fear tests.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna look
Let
up
me
the
see what
exact rules.
resist
I
fear
don't know
does.
exactly what that means. I think that was the wording.
Okay, so it's basic fear test, which is like a +0. I guess jaded might mean that you don't have to take fear. I guess it's called fear in parentheses 1. So if that,
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the
modifier?
exact wording here. But I would suspect that if it is a level 1 fear test, that I probably don't have to take it.
this is not the first time you've seen a guy carve out his eyes with a letter opener.
No, well, to me, I think it's more just that like Yistark is from like like a pre-electricity
Like a
people.
death world.
So like people flying around in spaceships is something he sees every day. Like a guy with his eyes torn out is like basically that same level of thing. So like if it's not a
All right, I
demon,
get-
right? Like whatever.
I get
that's-
+10.
That's what I do.
So, so you said it was a regular one, so it's just a normal based
So
on your
this is-
willpower.
Yeah. So no modifier for me. Willpower test.
All right, I am. I don't care, man. The Emperor protects.
I'm fine.
You guys are all fine. Okay, so bloodied, carved out eyes. It's all just in a day's work for you guys.
Have you read anything about 40k? This is like pretty normal, pretty calm, pretty edge of the storm.
Grimdark.
So
There's no skulls yet.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of disappointed.
So Kim, Jaded reads, the Acolytes' wide travels have shown him both wonders and horrors from beyond the ken of most. The galaxy has thrown its worst at him, and he has yet to flinch. Mundane enemies, from Death's horrific visage to Xeno's abominations, do not force him to gain insanity points or make fear tests. Daemon's warp manifestations or other unnatural effects still affect him normally.
okay.
See a demon, you do get a little bit frightened.
Certainly, some
should.
guy who cut and stabbed himself a little bit. That's not nearly enough to phase.
Like I said,
Yustar.
you have like glow bulbs and all kinds of crazy, stupid bullshit, right? Like a guy
Glow
pulling his
bulbs.
eyeballs out. It's just about the same thing to me.
All right, yeah. So you all rush in, like everybody except for Yustar. You're a little like taken aback at the scene, but it doesn't really phase you. Yustar is just kind of standing there with no real expression on his
I'm going up
face.
to read this guy.
Finally.
Oh, there he is.
Well, so as for what else is in the room, and you're more than welcome to read them in a minute. So there's a bunch of servants there. They're all kind of like standing around in horror. Is one in the corner, like throwing his guts up on the floor from the scene, and the guard from before is also kind of standing off to the side with like a look of horror on his face, kind of staring at the scene. Lance, or what you assume is Lance, the gentleman in the finery with the missing eyes in the middle, kind of continues screaming at the top of his lungs.
I think Jules is gonna check in with the voices. So I'm gonna use my telepathic link to try to see what this guy maybe is thinking, what he saw, something like that. Read something off his thoughts.
Oh well,
We're both gonna read it.
I'll let you do that in a second. I guess
Sure.
Kevin had said that you start
Kevin
to
was
want
gonna read him.
to read somebody, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Don't kill him.
Yeah. So Yustark is gonna walk up, and he's just gonna like put his hand on the guy's forehead and say like shh, and then he'll pull out this like knife that's like a kind of curved, and he'll just like stick it in his belly and like pull it across his stomach and like sort of tip him over so his intestines fall out onto the ground.
That's what you do to Gul'jan,
Yeah.
or the noble. All right. So his screaming is only broken intermittently by like the kind of huff that he makes when the knife like is stuck into his stomach, and then the screaming continues as blood now starts pouring out of his belly, his
Yeah.
intestines.
So
too.
you start kind of
Listen,
like.
can I try to read this guy before you start finishes? Like,
Yeah, you should probably go ahead and do that.
totally eviscerated.
Before there's nothing left. By the way, when I read him, I like mush around his intestines in the ground, and like I'm like, it's not good.
All right. We've got Haraspexy here. We like this.
I go, I'll like whisper to him like,
Well, it's not good. His intestines are on the ground.
I could tell you,
It's not gonna
your
end well
fate,
for him.
friend,
Well, this
but
isn't
I'm
good.
afraid you probably do not want to know.
The screaming continues. I guess Jules, you're welcome to try to see if you can read his mind as it seems to quickly fade. As soon as you like do your reading, that seems to snap the guard kind of out of his stupor. He immediately pulls. What does he have? Probably like a. Give me a second. All right, so he pulls out like a hand cannon. He's just, "What are you doing?"
Hold, citizen. We do the work of the Emperor here.
So I need to make an opposed willpower test with lands.
Okay. We can certainly do that.
That's not going to be good.
So I'm not sure exactly what opposed means in this context. I guess he can. You make. It's probably that you make yours, and if it's successful, he can try to resist it by
Or
making
something like
his.
that.
But I imagine
that
if,
may be.
Well, there are opposed checks, aren't there? Isn't that the whole?
Yeah, it's a specific thing.
Yeah.
but I think that essentially you get to try to.
Whoever
negate-
succeeds wins the test. If both parties succeed, the party with the most degrees of success wins the test, and then there's more tiebreakers. If both parties fail, one of two things occurs. Either it ends in a stalemate and nothing happens, or you re-roll until there's a clear winner. Either outcome is appropriate and left to the GM's discretion.
Well, so give me a. Is this to see whether you actually break through, or is this to see whether you get the power off at all?
It's...
Swear to God, if you open like a rift to the Eye of Terror,
I figured the first thing that was going to happen is like a fucking greater demon of corn sticks his axe through a warp hole and slices all of you in half.
I mean, honestly,
No,
it might be better than you, Stark.
At this point, you might deserve it.
Who knows? Jesus.
Listen, he's just
I mean,
performing
well,
his
that's-
tribal
well,
rights.
right? I was gonna say, like, normally, obviously, we wouldn't super approve of, party members disemboweling people randomly. But I mean, how more heretical can you get with what's going on in here?
I was a second away from a shotgun shell myself, going towards his.
No, seriously,
corpse.
like, at least we're getting something out of it, right?
Yusark is just
Yeah,
trying to
we're
let this
reading.
guy know
I think
his
I
soul's
just-
fate.
I think I just failed the focus power test.
Oh,
Oh, it's,
Oh.
it's getting good. It's starting
No,
off
no.
already.
So here, the way that psychic powers work is that the things that we all think of as like bad, right? So things can go pretty wrong, and like demons can hop through. That's extreme. Mostly, it's just weird stuff happens. That only happens if you roll doubles on your roll. And it happens if you roll doubles on your roll, regardless of whether you're successful or not. So if I had rolled 77, that would be bad. I'd fail, and we'd get phenomenon. If I rolled 11, that would be bad. I'd succeed really impressively, and we'd get phenomenon, right? So, like, a bloodthirster can come through, possess me, and kill all of you, regardless of whether I succeed or not. It's entirely down to total randomness. So in this case, since it wasn't doubles, it was just a failure on the focus test. The power does not manifest itself, so I think we could just stop
Okay.
it there.
So
Yeah.
he fails too, but I guess since you fail, like the power doesn't happen. So
Right.
I don't. I feel like it would be cruel to make you keep rolling psychic power tests.
No, I think
we're
for those
an hour
numbers.
in.
I
It's
think
time
if
for a
I had
fate point, I
succeeded
think.
on the test, and so it was just like now our minds fighting, then that would be one thing. Then we could see. But since I didn't make it, I think we stopped there.
Well, you could certainly use a fate point if you wanted to. Certainly, like extracting any more information from this guy. There are precious few seconds left as the gut and bile from his or the blood and gut and bile from his stomach are pouring out onto the floor in front of you now.
I think I'm gonna save those fate points for what I was talking about before with the doubles and the greater demons and there are some rolls I can make where things can go from being like poor and difficult to we're all immediately dead.
You have
So
three.
that's yeah.
I'm
And
gonna-
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna
like
agree. I'm gonna
I'm gonna save him for that part where the greater demon comes through and starts possessing my body.
Best defense is a good offense.
All right.
I'm gonna let Yistark do his reading and get us some information
guys,
here.
alright,
Sometimes
Yistark
the
can't
voices are
read-
quiet.
Can't read words, but he can read this guy's fate, and it doesn't look good.
All right. So, anyways, so you, Jules, I guess you see him kind of, I don't know. I guess describe what happens in your failed psychic test.
It doesn't. For the most part, my psychic abilities, you can't tell from the outside that anything's happening unless I suddenly reveal a piece of information that I have no good right to know. And in this case, there were no psychic phenomena that manifested themselves. So it may seem like the wind shifts in the room in a way that you wouldn't expect, but for the most part, it would be unnoticeable.
All right. So, I guess then you guys all kind of just stand there and look at Yustarch like holding this poor man's like entrails in his hand, telling him that he's probably not long for this world.
No. Well, so I wouldn't say that he's not long for this world. Yistark is actually trying to find out the fate of his soul once it passes into the afterlife, but nobody would, I guess, know that for any reason. But I'm telling him, like, friend, you do not want to know. Things will go poorly for you. And he can take that however he wants. He probably is mostly concerned with the current state of his entrails.
Well, it seems like he was concerned with stuff before.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can really get a good, read on how he's feeling right now, other than like, not great.
So
It's been better.
so anyways, yeah, sure.
Oh, so I was just gonna say I'm gonna scan the crowd of people watching all of this. I'm gonna try and like see if I can get a sense as to what they saw. Like obviously this is horrifying and they're all like freaking out, but you said some of them were more distressed over it. I want to try and see did they see something else, or are they reacting to their master gouging his eyes out?
One of them's
All
got
right,
a hand cannon on us, doesn't he?
Yeah, it seems like,
yeah. So the guard kind of has this hand cannon out, pointed at the back of Yistarch, yelling like, "Step away from him right now!" The
I'll
rest
just
of the
shoot
people.
him.
So when you said that, Kim, I said like, "Stop, citizen!" Like we work in the name of the emperor. Like I was telling him to back down.
I'll step away.
So,
if they don't want me to help,
I don't.
I won't.
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm telling the guard to back down, please. No.
I'm just trying to help, guys.
Finish the chapter.
He says, so he's holding out his gun, and he's like, "Who are you people? Like, what is he doing?" The rest, Andrew, the rest of the people in the room are just like, there's another couple of servants. They're all kind of dressed in these like tattered robes. One is just like standing there in the corner, like screaming. There's the guy who opened the door from you. He's standing next to the wall, kind of like it's like puked so much that there's like nothing more coming out, and he's just like dry heaving now. And then there's two others, kind of standing by the door in like holding hands, crying in shock. From what you can tell, they probably just have never seen anything quite so desperate.
Right.
But there's of course also this this black orb on the desk,
Right.
that I guess you guys have only just seen. Either way, so maybe Chris, you wanted to try to tell the guard to stand down.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you make a command roll with let's say a -10, since you just stabbed his master and with seemingly little provocation.
That's a no. That's a 61. That is a no. The light of the Emperor apparently has not reached this guard's life, and he doesn't. I mean, heresy affects us all. I can't really blame him.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
And he does.
All right, so he kind of he swings the hand cannon.
We lose Kim?
And he fires.
Boom! Kim goes
Apparition of
down.
the warp.
I'm
Kim has
gonna
been
blame this
frozen in
on.
time. He's been cut off by warp storms.
I'm gonna blame this
1,000
on
years.
Yistarch. I think Yistarch just tried to read our GM.
Well, so in the meantime, I'll read this guy if I have to too, but I would rather not. I was just trying to help out his bud. Yistarch is
Yeah, I mean, I think
a helpful fellow.
I think Bortoth has the right plan here. We should probably try to calm things down a little bit and read as few people as we have to, because we do want to try to get some information for them about their master's goings-on.
He'll be calm if he's dead.
Again, hard to get information from them if they're dead.
No, just the guy with the gun.
Yeah, It might actually be very easy to get information from them if he's dead.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, which he? Who are we talking about now? You
Guy
start.
with the gun.
The guy with the gun.
Oh,
Oh, can we like talk to dead people? Is that a thing?
I don't think I
no,
have that
but-
power yet.
I mean talking to the servants after their.
Oh, yeah.
guard.
I agree. Well,
Yeah,
Stark
he
is more than
just got
capable
here.
of putting this guy in the ground very quickly, I think, if we need to do that.
You back?
He's back.
Sorry, don't know what happened. For some reason, my internet just seemingly dropped and then came.
And he's actually making almost the same, like, he's stuck in the same, place. That
Well, it's because the guy's got the gun on him.
Got the gun.
This guy's hands. It's like, it's hey, don't shoot.
Heresy.
Yeah.
But like I was saying,
shouldn't have
Stark
failed
can
that.
put this guy in the ground pretty quickly if we need to. But he doesn't really want to.
I have a question. We were brought together by the Inquisitor. I don't know if we really had an opportunity to chat as a party
I think we
with each
probably
other. Do we know what you are doing right now?
I don't think so.
No, he made that pretty clear when they've never seen it.
That we don't know what reading is. I don't think.
I ain't done much of this reading.
I mean, I've got some knowledge of things, so
Yeah. I think I'm aware that your ritualistic practices are a form of worship of the Emperor, which is why I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So yeah, I occasionally talk about the Mountain Father, who apparently you are able to confirm is the the progenitor of all. So therefore, he has been pushed into my system of worship to an acceptable degree.
He's back.
He's back.
I'm afraid to say anything because I'm gonna kill our internet again.
Nobody move.
Kim, just don't do this, Kim.
You gotta
Do
move,
not raise
otherwise we're-
either of your hands.
Otherwise, we get offended again.
Everybody perfectly quiet. I don't know. For some reason, our cable, TV, and everything just went out. So I don't know.
Aberrations in the warp. You're cut off by a warp storm.
Yeah, we've got warp storms going
for a
on.
millennia.
Foul
Ultimate plot.
heretics. Xenos.
In the 40s.
I knew you
Teams
should
are
have kept that smoking ball of black nothing on your desk. Shit will mess up your reception.
Yeah. So by the way,
This-
Stark is not going to deal with this ball of black stuff on the desk. That is not his. It's not his deal.
I read
Okay, so,
people. I don't read balls.
He kills people and he pulls out their intestines. Those are his things.
What was the last thing that you guys managed to hear?
So I had just rolled my command check and I failed.
Yes.
That is the last
So-
thing.
So the guard kind of swings his hand cannon around at Bortoth, and as he's yelling to one of the servants, quickly get the Jergen. You all get out of here. Step away from Mr. Gul'jan.
I don't think that's going to
Chair-
do it.
Chair gun?
The doctor.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna shake my head and
Surgeon.
say, "It is too late for him, friend. He will
I
go
think
to
I,
join his father and his father's father."
I'll kind of tap or motion my shotgun towards him and say, "But it's not too late for you, friend. Put the gun down."
I guess maybe make a intimidate check.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll to add to it, I will say, I can tell you your fate as well if you wish.
As I imagine you're holding out the knife.
Yeah, and
Okay.
a piece of intestines.
90. But I also have the face of the law. Reroll intimidation and interrogation. Use willpower bonus for degrees of success.
Look at you re-rolling all the
So
checks.
many rerolls. It's
Red
unbelievable.
By the way, this intimidate is at a -10. The guy is quite agitated.
Oh, great.
But you can go ahead and reroll if you want.
but I'm
He's
trained
not-
though, so I'm at
Is that
plus.
swayed at all by the intestines?
I'm even. Oh wow. Wait, so I'm even though, right? Because I'm trained in.
Train doesn't give you any bonuses. It just means you don't get a negative.
But Kevin's helping, right? So that gets a bonus?
Yeah, I was gonna help.
Sure. I give a +10 for the.
Great. Okay, so I
Greatest
rolled a
that
41. My willpower was 30.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Wait,
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. 31. My willpower is 40.
Yeah.
So 9 there. So I did the other way. Yeah. You see? See what
So
I did
you
there?
just barely make it. All right, he seems to like lowers his gun a little bit. He's like, we have to help him quickly, please.
There's no helping him. He's seen things that no man should see.
guys, it won't hurt any for them to bring their Shurjin over and have him take a look. Well, I don't know why you're acting like this.
So
Just
you-
because it won't help doesn't mean it'll hurt.
Maybe because there's an object of heresy? I point to the
Well,
globe.
then perhaps y'all should help carry Lands over to the Shurjin and remove the folks from this room with the object of heresy instead of introducing new folks into it.
Agreed.
The servants, by the way, don't seem to like care really at this point what the guard has to say. Some of them, or like the two that were crying by the door, left, but they just seem to be like fleeing. The guy dry heaving is pretty much down on his knees now, like shriveled up into a ball, and the woman that was screaming in the corner is still going at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Stark's okay with that.
That's
Everything
fine.
Seems fine.
Okay,
Seems normal.
Kim. Well, that's. I mean, maybe you're okay with it, but I'm not. We're all servants of the Emperor, and the fact that they're all, maybe they're lacking a little courage and fortitude doesn't mean that we're not. It doesn't mean that, it's. And I will approach them and say, "Come, friends. Not all is lost. Your master has simply returned from whence we have all come. Now come with us. Come with us. Let us bear your master to his final rests. Lift yourself up, friends. I will try to. It says that I can use command to terrify followers into fearing me more than what they're scared of. I'm not really scaring them right now, but I'm still trying to inspire them.
Maybe you
Um,
can use charm or
No,
something.
that's fine. Well, is it? You're saying it is a type of charm check? I guess you're trying to command their attention at least. Charm with the Emperor's Light or something like that.
Actually, yeah, he wishes to distract someone by drawing their focus away. So, yeah, it could be charm. What kind of modifier?
Let's give it a -10, given the nature of the situation and how you guys haven't really made it less gruesome so far.
Nope. That's a no. That's a 92.
So we're gonna blame this situation on Chris. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So here I come, covered in just the viscera that's been spilling everywhere, saying, "What's the big deal? I don't
Come on, guys. You ever
Guys,
seen Viscera
God."
before? This guy has never
alright,
seen Viscera.
The guard still seems disturbed and certainly isn't really paying attention to you more than his bleeding master. The two servants that were left in the room have passed out at this point from either or from whatever shock they were suffering from.
All right. So Stark is gonna like turn towards the guy and be like, "You do not want to point your weapon at me, friend, or I will tell you your fate as well."
All right. Make another intimidate check. Still at a -10.
I don't think that's gonna do it. I'm pretty sure it's pretty far over. Yep. Nope.
All right. You see this angry glint come across the guard's face. It says, I don't know on whose authority you people are here, but if you don't leave right now,
All right, guys. Let's just go.
he just like he raises his gun and
I'll pull the trigger.
pointed
If he
at
has his gun.
All right. Roll a ballistic skill.
Yeah, I mean, I had it on him. If he points his gun again, I was just gonna pull the trigger.
Okay. No, he trails off and his gun gets or it starts to raise up. So sure, you can go ahead and make a
Ballistic skill.
It'll be a routine attack, which gives you a +10.
Okay. 15. So 3 degrees of success. 4 degrees of success.
Okay.
Oh, do I roll damage now?
Then you should roll damage. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
You
he
definitely
can
know.
he can dodge if he wants to. She
Okay.
maybe.
Do I get
probably
any
want to.
extra damage?
Yeah, he'll try to dodge.
Do I get extra damage for my degrees of success, or does that just affect his dodge?
I think you do.
Okay.
1 second.
Make it penetration.
I have pen 0.
All right. So he fails his dodge. Yeah. So how much damage do you do?
Only 6.
So actually you have to roll to see where you hit him. So roll a percentile dice. This is armor split across. So 12 is his right arm. So he's wearing obviously also some kind of guardsman's carapace armor, and you kind of nail him across the arm, but the armor seems to take most of the damage. Why don't we all roll initiative?
How does the initiative roll work?
I think it's just a D10, and you add your. I think you add
Agility,
a bonus to it.
I think you add your agility bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, so the 10's part of your agility score.
Okay.
There we go. Natural 10. That's a gun. Oh, someone's using physical dice. Sexy, sexy.
I think that's Ken.
Whatever, Grandpa.
All right. So do we get everybody?
No, we got 4, so yeah.
Okay. So you got the 12, right? So Jules goes first.
No, that would be Xandra got the 12. I got the 10.
Then
8.
Xandra can go first. You can squeeze off another blast if you want.
Okay, yeah. I'll just cycle the action and pull the trigger again. I'll take a few steps forward, try and get a better angle on his chest. But
you're already at extremely close quarters.
Yeah, be careful about that.
I'll give you an additional +10 on your ballistic skills and make it at a +20.
Okay. Ooh, very bad. Yeah, I'll use a fate point. I don't have much else to use it for, so I'll use a fate point to reroll.
Go for it.
Not good. Okay, so yeah.
All right, you step forward, and you're right as you're about to squeeze the trigger, your foot slips a little bit in a bit of entrail, and unfortunately, the cause the shotgun blast goes just wide. So he immediately swings around and shoots at you with his hand cannon. So we'll make that a simple check as well. His ballistic skill. No, yeah, he whiffs terribly. So the hand cannon with a large boom squeezes around off and flies right past your head. He's obviously still shaken. The next initiative would be Jules, I guess.
Jules will dive behind the desk.
It's a good thing to do.
I
right.
trust Yistarch to do whatever reading needs to be done, but that's
He's about to read this guy.
Wow, double dose.
Spoiler alert! It's gonna go poorly.
We've heard the result of this reading before. All these readings, I have a suspicion that all these readings are going to be extremely similar.
Well, just so you know,
terrifying. The terrifying thing is when it goes well.
it may not make a difference to anyone but Yistark, but he's actually reading the fate of their souls once they depart their bodies.
All
Is
right.
that what he thinks he's doing?
Yeah, that's what he believes he's doing. That is what he believes he's doing. And you have no evidence
right.
to prove that he's wrong.
So I guess for Jules, you can move there with a half action. You get another half action if there's something else you want to do. Pull out a weapon or I don't know, something else. Of course, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, no, I think. Well, you know what? Let me just take a quick.
It's time for some action music.
Let's test fate again. I'm gonna use my erasure ability. Oh no, it's a full action. Never mind. We'll wait till next time around. I'll cower in fear behind the desk.
All right, fair enough. In that case, I think it is Yistarch.
Okay, so I'm going to half action aim, and then
Okay.
I'm going to shoot him. So my ballistic skill, I believe, is 50. I should get 10 from the aim, 10 from it being a normal attack. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a simple attack gives you +10.
All right.
Or,
So it's going to
yeah,
be plus
ordinary
20.
attack.
So I'm going to have a ballistic skill of a 70 here.
81.
Would be embarrassing if he. Okay.
All right. So I get a 50. So since my weapon is accurate, I have. This is 2 degrees of success, right?
It would actually be 3 because you get 1 automatically for succeeding, and then if your skill's at 70 and your roll is 50, the difference is 2, so it would be 3.
All right. So I since my weapon is accurate, I'm going to deal an extra 1d10 damage. But the first one is the only one that can generate Righteous Fury. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but 2d10. Oh, I guess he can. Or he dodged already this turn, right? So I don't think he can do it again.
Yes, he tried to dodge the shotgun blast, so that was his reaction.
Okay.
So he can't roll to dodge this one.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
everybody
how-
gets. So just so everybody knows, everybody during the round, you get essentially 1 full action or 2 half actions and 1 reaction. Reactions are things like either dodging or whatever the. I think there's like parry and stuff like that if you're in close combat. Those are the reactions, but you only get 1 reaction. So if you get attacked 3 times, you can't try to react to all of them. You can only react to 1. So since he tried to dodge the shotgun blast, he can't roll to dodge this one. So I guess so. We need to know where this very accurate last bolt strikes him.
Well, so I can called shot for no penalty. I guess maybe. Although I think a called shot is a full round attack, so I guess I couldn't do that. Something like that, maybe.
I think it's different than a basic attack. It might.
I took the +10, so it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. So I roll what? D100.
Yeah. So just percentile.
83.
83 puts us in his right leg, and damage.
So my weapon is felling 4, which means any of these D10 rolls that are lower than 4 become 4. So that is actually a 17.
All right. So 17. He's got 6 armor there, so that brings it down to an 11. But his health
Is 2.
Actually no, he's still. All right. So you like this last bolt like burns through his armor, and you can see this huge scorch mark on his leg. It would be like bleeding profusely if it wasn't like seared or cauterized by the heat of the last bolt. He like lets out a large scream, but he doesn't. He looks like he's gonna go down, but he just barely manages to stay up. I guess that makes it Bortoth's turn.
Well, I don't know why everyone is dealing with this guard who, he's, I guess, protecting his master, or really, shooting. Who the hell knows? When there is this dark sphere of heresy just sitting in the room, undisturbed, unmolested, doing God knows what. Sorry.
Oh, you molest the
Emperor knows
crap out of
what.
that.
And I am going to molest the heresy right out of it. So with a mighty blow, I'm going to swing my chain axe and strike the evil wall of darkness.
You're gonna try to attack the orb.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Great move, Chris.
Full approve.
Why don't you make? I don't know. It's fairly small. It's probably like something that would like fit in your hand. So to hit it, let's make it like a -10 weapon skill roll.
Okay. And can I don't know, and do I need to like, is there some way to like aim, or is it?
So there is
Let's do the cold shot thing that Kevin was trying to do, because it's.
No, you can aim. There isn't really a cold shot here because it's very small target. The cold shot is more so you can like pick the area of a person that you strike if you want to specifically aim for the head or the body or something like that. Because this is just like one small object, I don't think cold shot really makes it sense. You can aim as a half action, which would leave you a half an action for a standard attack. As I said, since it is small, actually it'll probably, let's make it a -20 because I think it's several degrees smaller than you.
Okay. So the aim adds 10.
Yeah. A half action aim is +10.
Okay, so it's a total of. All right. Well,
You can also full action aim for +20, but then you wouldn't be able
Then
to
I
use it
wouldn't
until your
have to
next
attack.
round.
Unfortunately, my fervor is greater than my skill, and I strike the table right next to the wall with the chain axe. So it's probably fine.
Was it a plasma steel table?
All right. So you like smash this is chain axe, right?
Yep.
All right. So I mean, of course, like as soon as like Bortot like brandishes this thing, you like hear the chain veering on this thing, rumbling, and he like swings and it like crashes into this like finely carved wooden desk and immediately like splinters fly up. Unfortunately, he misses the black orb only just. But actually, so Jules, why don't you make that Cinescience test at a +20?
All right. Yeah, I'd make that. That's a 7 degrees of success.
Okay.
Wait, you said +20?
Yeah, +20.
Yeah, 7 degrees of success.
Okay. So you immediately feel like the cling of the warp on this object, and as Bortoth's axe slams into this, you're struck immediately with this vision of it's almost like it's like a waking dream where you're standing in this vast, barren, alien landscape. These huge, bizarre cyclopean structures towering above you. It seems to last like seemingly longer than just like the split second that like that it actually is. When you kind of suddenly get popped back into reality out of this vision.
All right.
And you will need to make a fear test.
All right. Any modifications?
No, just +0.
I'm all right.
Okay. So there you go.
Do we continue to act in order? So
Yeah. So I guess that brings it back to the top of the order, which makes it Xandra.
can I get kind of a reaction thing to that to like jump up and shout something?
Sure. Go ahead.
So when this happens, for one thing, Jules was behind the table that's just been struck with a chain axe, and so he kind
Splinters like flying all over him.
of leaps backwards and says, "Bortoth, be careful! There's something about that. It's connected to the warp somehow."
You trying to make him stop, or
Sounds great.
I'm trying to make him be
Excellent.
careful. Like, if he wants to go ahead and proceed with destroying it, just know that you could like either get sucked into the warp or suck things out of the warp. Like, you
Warp
never know how that's gonna
transmission.
happen. There's some warp. Just be aware.
We got warp.
Warp level high.
So what you're telling me
Alright, at least
is
warp
that
one.
the heretical artifact that I'm attempting to destroy has a connection to the warp, so I should destroy it. Is what
I'm
I'm
telling
hearing.
you, hit it with the axe next time, not the damn table.
So I will.
It's a session quote right there.
I will take aim at the guard and fire my shotgun.
all right. You can take a plus 20 as you're practically standing on top of him now.
Okay. And do I get anything for aiming?
Yeah, plus 10 for aiming as a half action.
Really? Pass.
You still pass?
What can I do? Anything else?
Oh, he means he
Oh,
passes, not he passes.
You don't hit though.
Oh, yeah, no.
So you can shoot as a half action, then aim for your next action if you want.
Well, I already aimed for the.
Fucking
He aimed and shot.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, yeah, I guess the guard luckily stumbles because of his wounded leg, barely making your shotgun blast miss. As he's going down, he kind of sees his end. He swings his pistol around at Yistark and
Does he
he'll
go before I do? Yeah, he does, right?
yeah he goes at 12 as well.
Nice.
So he'll also aim and take a shot at Yistark. Or not. But the shot, as he kind of goes down to one knee, the bullet goes straight up into the ceiling. So that makes it Jules' turn.
All right.
I can do this if you don't
Well,
want to anger the warp.
I got two questions here. One, how long has this encounter been going on for since we got to the room? And two, how far away from him am I?
You probably haven't been here more than 5 minutes or something like that. You guys talked for a little bit, and then you guys have been fighting for, at this point, no more than maybe 20 to 30 seconds or something like that. It's been boom, boom, boom. I said your vision. You seemed like you were standing there for minutes, but it was a split second. Once you got popped back into the real world, and you are. I said it's a study, so it's really just a large office. Since you're behind the desk, say maybe you're 5 meters away from him or something like that.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and see whether I can erase his memory of the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
The guy we're gonna kill?
Well, we don't have to kill him if he doesn't have any reason to be fighting with us.
Well,
Eh.
exterminatus level.
I'm just saying, please let us get information from them before we shoot them in the head. That's how the
Why do you want
Inquisition
people to
works,
get
damn
information
it.
from him? Also,
Yeah.
I can read him once he's dead. Or
But all of that can happen after we kill him. I don't think you understand the order of operations that has to occur here. You have to
Sark
do
is
the
not-
multiplication before the addition.
he wasn't.
That's how
trained
this
in your
works.
Also,
schools.
I guess you do all maybe recall that your instructions was to recover and contain items.
Bortoth did not seem to recall that at all.
He was
know.
on Hereditary
I
Stark
mean-
too.
He gets his He gets the
How long
Emperor's
have we
Lane
really
and
known this Bortoth character?
I'm gonna say the Emperor's
literally a couple of hours.
pretty clear
Mhm.
with these kinds of issues.
All right, you know what?
So yeah, let's see some mind erasure.
Listen, I'm just telling you, I can erase his mind too.
Understood. All right, I fail and we get warp trails. So how
no.
about I use a fate point?
No, boo.
All right, all right.
Oh,
All right, it didn't succeed, but things are much better.
Good
This is why you
Lord.
save the fate points. You hear me?
You would have had 2 left.
I do have 2 left. All right.
I guess the erasure is not a opposed check,
Well, he
It is,
failed.
but again, I have to succeed.
but yeah, you still have to succeed. Okay.
I think my power rolls have been slowly going higher and higher, so
This is good,
I'm
right?
excited for 99.
Maybe it'll roll around and you'll start getting really low ones.
There we go. We can only hope.
You start
Okay, so well, I guess that was a half action for you. Did you want to do
Nah,
something
it's a
with
full
your-
action.
Oh, it's your full action. Okay. Okay, so then it was Yistark, I believe.
And he looks like he's about done.
He doesn't like he's kind of like down on one knee right now. There doesn't seem to be very much. His leg is very badly hurt.
All right,
He seems-
I'll cold shot his head, and since I have precision killer, I don't get any penalty for that. It's just a full round attack. Ugh. 3 plus. Oh yeah, I think that should be fine. I just barely make it, I think.
What is your weapon skill?
50.
So how does a 58?
Maybe you're right. Let's see.
Because you're not aiming.
I'm not aiming. You're right, and I'm not. It's not a standard attack.
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah. I miss.
All right. I guess Bortoth, that leaves it up to you.
What leaves what up to me? I'm the only one focusing on the objective here. Okay, I don't know what these people are doing.
Apparently, you've forgotten the objective in your.
All right.
deal.
Well, this is this is basically like I don't know if everyone remembers from Titanic when Jack is handcuffed and
The classic
Rose
scene.
has the axe and Jack is like, you need to aim, so that way you don't kill me with the axe. So I'm gonna do a full round aim action. I'm just gonna be lining up the axe. It's a little. Now that I know that it's a warp cursed artifact, I just need to make sure that we take it down. So I'm gonna be.
Do you have any kind of like knowledge skills that pertain to or things from the warp or knowledge in general?
How about knowledge ecclesiarchy?
What knowledge roleplay?
What other knowledge do you need?
The DM is telling you not to.
No, I mean, why not? I'll say that I imagine your character would probably know that a chain axe might not be quite enough to destroy something like this. Even if you were to land a very carefully aimed...
Chain axe blow. All right.
Who's to say what would happen if you did hit it? Maybe nothing. Maybe something.
Like I said, demons. Maybe it'd be best if we contain this here thing.
And capture it, as were the instructions that you read to me.
Retrieve, and contain.
Yeah,
Retrieving. All right. Well, I'm not going to touch the warp curse artifact. I feel like that would be All right. Well, then, while
Just
they're
wear
busy
gloves.
dealing with the guard, or whatever is going on over there, I'm gonna start looking around the room for a suitable container for the artifact.
Okay,
This guy's crazier
Um,
than Yistark.
that's fine.
Listen, if we're not
so
all crazy, we're doing it wrong.
I guess Xandra, are you gonna try to finish the poor sap off?
Please.
I haven't really been doing very well.
You need to go back to the shotgun range.
I'll make you a deal. I'll try and finish him off if you promise I don't have to roll and just let it succeed.
All right, that's fine. Let's put the.
I'm kidding. I did it!
All right, there you go.
Oh,
Roll damage.
It is 6 armor.
I don't wanna.
You're gonna need to pull that on up. You got this. You got this. We all got faith in you.
All right. It's a
That's
6
not.
damage.
That's
6
not gonna do it.
damage.
That's.
I'm pretty sure that's enough to like give him.
Oh, where did
a,
I hit him? Where did I hit him? Where did I hit him?
Yeah, right in the head. Right in the head.
No.
Probably not the head.
I'm pretty sure
Chest.
that's enough to give him like an inconvenient callus on his leg.
I will also say, in my defense, can you
really
think
a
of?
shotgun would do more damage at this range?
Also, I don't appreciate the protest against my Titanic reference. I feel that was exactly on point.
It's not a protest. It was.
Just
You know,
surprised.
a
that
little
was the
kind of
example
big-
you came up with.
kind of
Like,
protest.
you deep.
Can you think of a better
You
one?
dove into the mind of Chris Benson and you pulled
mean-
up Titanic for an axe.
Listen, I was trying to think of like what's
I mean-
what's the scene where someone is aiming at an axe at a small object,
Alright.
and they don't.
The Shining.
So you hit him like square in the chest with a shotgun blast, and he gets kind of like knocked back down, and you can like hear him like huffing and gurgling. Still, he's not dead, but I guess he's down. And he so his round he'll like kind of stagger back onto his feet. He says, "No, please," and it'll be Yestarch's turn, I guess.
I think it's mine in between.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Jules.
So I'll say, are you giving up then?
It says, "Yeah, please don't kill me." And he like
dropped
drops
his weapon.
He like his gun like he's on the ground. He like stumbles back up to one knee. Like the gun is on the floor next to him. He's like coughing up blood and other things, teeth, what have you.
Okay.
Armor's,
I'll
like,
charge up to
shredded
him.
into tatters.
I'll charge up to him, flip him onto his stomach, and use my manacles to bind his hands behind his back.
All right, that's fine.
All right, you start.
And then I'll give him a
is gonna
sneak
come up
He's in
behind you
no shape to really resist.
and
So
whisper
Yeah.
in-
Like,
I'll give him.
Yistark is
I'll
gonna-
give him a stim pack to stabilize him as well.
All right, Yistark is gonna whisper to him.
use what?
A stim pack. Doses of stim. Is that what it is?
I think that's like it's more like a speed thing, not so much like a.
Oh, so
Yeah,
StarCraft 2 stim pack, not.
Yeah.
Well,
Wars, yeah.
actually, I mean, a StarCraft 2 Stimpack does not heal them, right?
That's what I'm
That's what
saying.
he's
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
He's saying
I
it's a
think that's.
StarCraft 2 stim
I think
pack
this
and not
is-
That's the
a.
idea, I think.
I would have to look it up, but I don't think it like heals anybody. I
I'm
think
sure I would have known that. I'll put a grenade in his pocket. No, okay, that's fine. I'll just sit him up.
you hold on to this, but
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright,
so I'll
so-
just sit him up and yeah.
Yeah, so Yistark will walk up and like whisper into his ear.
I will tell you your fate if you wish to know.
you could I guess Xander, because you're like right there next to him, handcuff, and you can hear him like, "Please, no, I don't, no."
Okay.
He doesn't want to.
Have I found a happy box for the happy sphere?
Yeah. So you kind of after it doesn't take you very long. It's just kind of sifting through the splinters and scattered debris from the now almost sawed in half desk. You do find a kind of a nice looking box with there's like red velvet inside that looks like it's about the right size for the orb.
Can I use a Forbidden Lore, the warp check on this thing?
Sure. It'll be probably be pretty difficult. So take like a minus 30.
All right.
Jeez.
Nope.
All right. Didn't really matter.
No, you could have given me a minus 700. It would have mattered.
All right. So yeah, all you know is what you've experienced so far. Like it obviously, as I said, it has. You can like feel the warp like sticking to this object. It's just like it's this perfectly smooth black orb. I guess nobody's tried to pick it up yet, right? So all you
Well,
it just
I was
kind
gonna
of
say-
sits there on the desk, the part of the desk that's still standing. And as I said, it's about like the size of a clenched fist.
So, you said that I found like a box with velvet inside that was approximately the right shape. So, kind of using it like to scoop it up like that, so I don't actually touch the orb. I was
Mhm.
going to place it in the box.
Okay. So you did. Oh, sorry. How do you get it into the box?
So, if it's got like a top that swings open like this, I'll grab the top and grab the box and use it as kind of like a claw. Close it over the orb and scoop it
Okay.
up.
Okay, that's fine. You managed to get it in there. As you do, you can kind of tell when you try to scoop it up that it is it's heavier than you thought it would be for its size, and when you're like right there next to it, you can feel that there's like almost like a coldness coming off of it. But yeah, you scoop it up into the box, and it fits in there quite nicely. I guess Jules, you can still kind of feel the warp like hanging off of this thing. It doesn't really matter. I guess as long as it's in your vicinity, you can kind of feel this thing.
Istark, what should we do with the servants, the witnesses?
Why would you ask Yistark? Why?
Allow them to
Of
live
literally
off the
every
land.
single person in this room.
Chain of command, Jules.
Give
Chain
them
of
their
command.
freedom.
Yeah, Yistark is somewhere outside of the chain of command.
Okay, I'll walk over with my
shotgun.
shotgun.
Firefly, but
I'll walk over with my shotgun, like casually held in front of me, and just say, "All right, listen up. All of you need to vacate and return to your homes. You are now, until further notice, unemployed."
just point of order. There are 3 people in the room. You have one of them in manacles. The 2 others have passed out. So
Slash bomb.
impressive as your speech. No, Tim specifically said they'd both passed out. So as impressive as the speech may be, I'm afraid it's lost on the audience.
Jules, the procedure is you have to say this and then escalate. You have to escalate. You have to start low. I can't just go beating people because they're unconscious. I have to get there first.
Now, if they refuse to comply,
He's resisting!
Obviously, the 2 passed out servants left in the room don't seem to be vacating quite as fast as you might have hoped. But you guys can kind of you can hear people like shuffling around downstairs down the hallway, and it seems like people might have been taking your advice or your order long before you issued it.
Okay. In that case, I will. All right. I'll just start dragging the 2 unconscious servants out of the room.
All right. You
And
can
just, like,
easily. They're these like skinny, malnutritioned little people. So you usually pick them up and toss them out into the hallway.
Well, gently. I'm not gonna.
Gently
Kill 'em.
toss them out into the hallway. They're still alive, hopefully. All right, so I guess you guys have the orb in its little container. The guard is in manacles and on his stomach. His leg is still badly damaged from the last bolt, and he's kind of, you can like hear him kind of struggling to breathe from the shots that he took. And of course, at this point, the nobleman has seemed to expired, and like the blood is starting to kind of congeal near his gut wound and his eyes and mouth.
Say, Xandra, why don't you call in the Arbites? I think that they'll probably want to check this out.
Yes, sir. All right, so I'll get on the phone or the radio and report back that there's an incident at the, what was his last name? The Buldan?
Gul'jan.
Gul'jan.
The Gul'jan estate.
House of Gul'jan. Yeah. The house is called the Hesentan's Manor, which is the seat of the House of Gul'jan. Yeah. So you kind of get over comms to the nearby Arbeits station, and they say they'll send over a unit. It'll probably be there in like 10 or 15 minutes.
So the guard's conscious at this point?
Yeah, he's still conscious, though not in the best of health.
Well, I'm gonna kind of sit him up against a wall and give him some water, and then I'm gonna try to interrogate him a little bit, see what he knows about where his master might have gotten this kind of thing, what kind of crowds he'd been running in, why things had headed downhill. Servants talk.
All right. And who? I guess Bortoth had kind of looked around the room, right?
Yeah.
So, Chris, why don't you make a +20 awareness test? I guess for Jules, like what in particular does he ask him about? What does he say to him?
He says, hopefully when the Arbeits get here, and be able to get you a little medical attention. But in the meantime, it'll go a little bit better for you if you can tell us something about your boss and how he ended up, in the state he was in, and how he got that there orb he's got on that desk.
All right, make an inquiry test, a +10.
Can we do interrogation? That was kind of what I was shooting for, but I don't know exactly what the difference is between interrogation and inquiry. I didn't think interrogation was torture per se, but I could be wrong on that.
I guess interrogation to me is a little more aggressive.
Yeah,
but
so
you can
inquiry is asking questions, stimulating conversation, or eavesdropping. Interrogation is brutal, or no, it differs from brutal torture. It's like application of psychology.
I mean, that's what, the thing is, there's no such thing as brutal torture here. He's already been brutalized. There's no further that I can go without him passing out, right? So, I mean, I'm kind of figuring this is basically police interrogation type thing, right? It'll go better for you if you answer my questions. We're not just having a chat.
I agree. It's coercion.
I could brutalize it a little more if that's what you were thinking.
No, listen, you stay on that side of the room.
I got it. Yeah,
we'll do good cop, terrifying savage, all right? That's how we'll get this.
I will
Good cop, murder hobo.
Yeah.
Just
good cop, murder
just
hobo.
Shoot him a mean glance, and he's like, "All right, yeah, sure. We could do interrogation +10."
All right, that looks good. So interrogation, yeah. +10, 2 degrees, 3 degrees of success.
Okay. So he says, "Okay, I don't know who you are, but Master Gul'jan has been acting weirder and weirder lately. The only time he leaves us on these bizarre journeys to the lower hive. It's become more and more secretive, and he seems to care about nothing but his bizarre finds." Like coughs up some blood.
Give him another drink of water and say, do you know by chance any contacts that he was working with in the lower hive? Did anyone ever come by the manor here? I mean, you're the guard, so you would have had to see folks coming through. Even a description, if you can give it to us, again, it'd help you out a bunch.
She says, he would never let me accompany him. I always cautioned him not to go into the hive city alone, but he would always just ramble on about the pale children, and something about the wheel that wails, but he would never explain himself. By the way, so Chris, did you pass your awareness test?
I needed a 44. I rolled a 44, so I got 1 degree of success.
Okay. kind of looking around the room while Jules is questioning the guard. So you see several other things that are of interest. First of all, there is a nobleman's oath cog, which is this strange mechanical device that you guys have. If you have some cursory knowledge of Decileum kind of works on this whole structure of oaths. Everybody's all agreements in the hive are this series of oaths, and the more prominent you are, everybody has this oath cog that kind of like tracks your oaths to people and things like that. And the more prominent you are, usually the more fancy these oath cogs are. So, anyways, Guljan's oath cog is lying on the floor. It looks like it's been like smashed or stepped on or something like that. So it's obviously suffered some pretty bad damage. In addition to that, you also find scattered amongst several books that have been strewn on the floor what looks like Lance's journal.
I will grab both of those items and stash them in my robes.
Yeah, Yistark is not interested in either of those, both because he can't read and because he doesn't give a fuck about these goddamn...
He can read. He just reads different books.
If it was written in,
not the book that
written,
was like, unless there's the book lying on the ground that Yistark would be able to read. I guess he's going to leave the unconscious people alone unless they really want to know their fates.
Well, ask him.
Listen, let's not get into consent here.
Yeah, just slippery slope.
So I guess so. You guys, those are the two items of note. There's also a variety of other books, but none of them seem to be of interest. And like knickknacks and other fineries are strewn across the floor. But that's pretty much it. That's the things of note.
Okay.
I guess. What do you guys want to? You grabbed the journal, Bortoth?
Yes. I assume it's fairly. Is it like full of details?
So you look through it?
Yeah, I guess if it's chronological, I'll start at the end.
Okay. So like flipping through it towards the end, you can definitely see that the writing seems to get more erratic, and on the last few pages are like these strange drawings, seemingly of tall buildings and little notes speaking of things like lost palaces. You see scribblings saying forgotten gods, towers of bone. Then it trails off into incoherent rambling or unintelligible script. I said there's a series of sketches, seemingly of bizarre alien structures, desolate landscapes, things like that. As I go back in time, is there any mention of the orb itself, any of where he got it, any origin, how he got it? There is I guess nothing that mentions specifically the orb, but you see some pages that discuss and like his latest addition to his collection. And as well as you see a reference to conducting business at a place he refers to as the Wheel That Wails.
The Wheel That Wails.
So I got a couple of questions. One, do the Adeptus Arbites know who we are? And two, will we potentially get in trouble with them for the events that occurred here, such that we have to either make them go away or reveal who we are in a way that would be problematic for us going forward.
Do we have to deal with the authorities, or is this just
So
like
it's like
whatever?
it is not impossible. I guess Xandra, you have knowledge of Adeptus Arbites, right?
Andrew.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that to me?
Yeah.
Adeptus Arbites. I am in the Adeptus Arbites. Did you mean for knowledge?
Common
You
lore.
also have knowledge
I do.
Adeptus Arbites,
I
if I remember correctly. Okay, so make a knowledge check for that at a plus 30.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. 8 degrees of success.
Beautiful.
Okay, so you are fairly sure. Like, if you were them coming right now, you would definitely want to know under whose authority you guys are acting, who you're reporting to, what your purpose is here. Certainly, they would need to collect all items and all the evidence to keep with you. That'd be standard practice. So that's pretty much what you expect will happen when they show up in another 5 minutes or so. So to answer your first question, you guys did not tell them you were acting on behalf of the Inquisition, so they don't know that. Right now, they don't know why you're under whose authority you're acting, because when Xander talked to them the first time, she managed to kind of just keep the conversation going, as a probably telling them that she's recently stationed somewhere around here. Is that like the Arbites work on several different levels? There's 30 billion people in the hive, so it's not like every Arbite station knows what every other Arbite station.
So did
Right, but is it going to be a problem for us when they show up if we're like, oh yeah, we work for the Inquisitor? They're just going to be like, oh, you can do whatever you want. Don't get mad at us.
In a meta sense, if you tell them, and you guys can certainly say like, we're here on behalf of Inquisitor, and the Inquisitor's name, if you guys forgot, is Arquin Torst. You can certainly invoke that, but it would affect your subtlety.
Okay.
Right. It kind of it puts a different spin on everything if you invoke the name of the Inquisition.
Sure.
even to the
And
Arbites?
Even to the Arbites, right? Because rumors will spread, right? And if all of a sudden that people know that the Inquisition is looking this way, people tend to disappear or shut up or be. It changes people's behavior, certainly, right? The Inquisition is not a like, everybody kind of certainly knows that it's kind of out there, but it is not like there's an Inquisitor station on every street corner.
Right.
So they're usually only there when like some shit is going down and like somebody's got to like deal with it, right?
Okay. Perhaps we should be going, my friends.
Well, one quick question. When Xandra called it in, did she call it in personally? Did she use her name, or did she just say where we were and that there was an incident they needed to look into?
I didn't say my name. I did say this is the Adeptus Arbites. We have a situation at this mansion.
Okay, but you didn't say your name.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's fine.
Then I'm going to take one more swing at erasing this guard's memory, since he's the one who's most interacted with us here.
Listen, there's a lot surer way for us to erase.
We could just knock him out and put the letter opener near him and take off his manacles.
And then if we've erased his memory, then we can make this anything that we want it to be. Also, it's probably best if people don't walk around talking about us.
All right.
We're only talking about...
No. So the erasing memory, that's like a psychic ability you have?
Correct.
All right, so if we could, minimize the heresy to what we need to do
I believe
with that.
So it's not so.
I am a
mean,
sanctioned psycher
yes,
of the Adeptus.
Okay.
All right.
Right. No. Yeah, we get it. You're sanctioned.
Great.
Right.
Great.
But
So
He got his
playing
degree.
things on the safe side, Yistark is going to start up his chainsword.
So that's not the safe
He's
side.
not going to read him. He's just going to cut him up.
Let's not murder anyone we don't have to.
Well, listen.
what? I don't
saying.
even know what that means.
Fortos, you had plenty of chances to murder someone, and all you did was swing your axe at the one thing we're not supposed to swing our goddamn axes at.
Priorities, okay? Sorry.
All right. So Yustark is going to say, old friend, I will take care of him. Trust me. I will leave the reading for later, and he starts up his chain axe.
All right, so I guess, Jules, you have, if you want to, you can erase his memory, but it seems like you have preciously little time to do so.
Yeah.
Listen, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go.
He's fishing. He's fishing for those demons.
We're here for one reason and one reason alone.
I would keep the chain sword going.
Yeah, the chainsword is going to cut deeply into his brain.
No,
Oh,
I
is
think
that
the
a success?
chainsword. I think what Kim was saying is the chainsword should probably be pointed at me while all this is happening.
Fair point. A fair point.
All right, so that's a success, and then it's an opposed willpower test. So the opponent opposes this with a willpower test.
All right, let's see.
Is his willpower affected by the chainsword?
Does not go well for him. He fails his willpower check.
All right, so I remove 20 minutes of his memory.
All right, so that's pretty much this entire episode.
So you really think it's better to make him think that he disemboweled his master with a letter opener than to just kill him? Is that's more just?
Right, so
that's the
you
high road
guys
in
have
the
like
situation?
it's like the Arbite squad is probably going to show up any minute now. So like the guy like all of a sudden gets this like blank look on his face, and he like seems like he's like looking around, and he like stares up at you guys with like this question like he doesn't really know what's going on. So you guys like what are you doing? Are you, I guess, unmanacling him and leaving the letter opener by him?
Listen, you don't have to leave the letter opener by him. His master attacked him. Every servant will say that his master went insane and clawed his own eyes out, right? His master attacked him, he put his master down. We just get out of here. It's easy.
This session is entitled The High Road.
Yes, let's leave the guard.
In this universe, this is the high road. Now let's take it and get the heck out of here on our horses.
No. This is not the high road.
I think a merciful death.
Leaving him to be executed by the Adeptus Arbites, I don't think is really.
As opposed to being executed by Yustark, I don't listen.
Yes, at least we're serving the Emperor. Like,
what do you think the Adeptus Arbites are serving?
It's an honor to be killed in the Mountain Father's glory.
No, seriously, this is a religious ritual. I really don't understand your perspective.
This is not a religious ritual. I'm not reading him. I'm just kidding.
No.
See, he's just killing him. And it'd be different. If he had said he was going to read him, I would have backed right off, all right? It was
There isn't really, like,
Good lord.
murder. It's not really...
It's not really a thing
like,
anymore.
Like thinking of the Adeptus Arbites as, like, police that, like, enforced laws is not the way to think of them.
I don't.
All right, either way,
I'm just gonna say,
to go.
as Jules, I disagree with you.
All right, yeah. So you guys need to leave if you want to avoid the Arbites.
Also, Jules leaves.
All right,
So I guess
we get out of there.
Whatever
leave him-
anyone wants to do with the guy after Jules has done his thing, like that's
So
all
Jules
good.
is out. I guess the question to Xandra is whether she takes her manacles with her or not.
I will take them. Yeah, I'll grab them.
All right,
Sure,
so you unchain him. Anybody else do anything, or you guys just rush out?
Yeah, well, we've spent enough time arguing. We need to get out.
All
right.
Chat says
So-
we need to go. We need to go.
So as you guys like grab the manacles off of him and you shuffle out. He kind of he looks at you guys with like questioning eyes, and then
No answer.
as you guys leave the room, he
How
all of a sudden
questioning are his eyes? Does it seem like he wants to know his fate?
as you guys are walking down the stairs, it seems that perhaps the guardsman all of a sudden realizes the scene that is before him. You hear a loud scream. You guys are walking down the stairs. You see like what seems like probably the last of the servants rushing out of the mansion, and you guys manage to get out and duck down a side street right as a squad of 6 Arbites come marching up the road towards the
And we got the artifact, right?
Yep.
So yeah, you have. I guess you guys have his journal, his broken oath cog, and the small box containing the black orb.
Okay. Good job, guys.
All right.
So I guess we're gonna a break here, I assume, since we've hit 9:30.
Yeah, we're at 9:30. That's right.
Okay. All right. So I think what we'll just do is I think we could probably get through the other half of the City of Lies next week. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see where we get. I think you guys took a little longer than this. There was the possibility of just trying to, interrogate Gul'jan, but there was a little bit of a standoff instead.
Yeah.
So that's all good.
I mean, that went faster than one might expect. It's the cleaning up that took a little longer.
The low road and then the high road, then the low road some more, and then finishing up a little bit on the middle road maybe. All right. Well, so I think we're wrapping up. So thanks for everybody watching. I guess you can catch this on the YouTube channel, which I think is linked below.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. I think we still have Trail of Cthulhu graphics on the Twitch channel, but the YouTube is correct. That's right.
So please do that, where this will be uploaded, I guess, by the end of the week or something like that. And then come back next week at 7:30 and catch the rest of Dark Heresy, Dark Pursuits, City of Lies, the other half.
The dark.
Thanks,
Part
everybody.
2. See how the other half lives in the lower hive.
See if anyone else will be red. Like they are.
Red and then erased and then red again.
Chopped up into little bit of pieces. Well, thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah. Thank you for running. Great job.
My pleasure.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
So,
All right. I like it. Everyone's crazy. It's working out well so far.
I mean, relatively speaking, so East Arc is definitely crazy. Like, that is not a normal song.
That's pretty.
Like,
Listen, it makes.
I mean-
Listen, just because he's from a culture that's different from yours doesn't mean you.
Yeah, this is
Very
like,
insensitive, Chris.
primitivist. I'm
But-
not happy with you right now, Chris.
you're not happy with me right now?
No, that was very primitivist. That was like so 19th
Whoa.
century.
No. I mean, for
Triggered.
40K, for the context of 40K, what he did was not a typical response.
Yeah.
That's
It, like,
fair.
it was like, okay, he's got his own thing going on here, but for example, if I had tried to kill him because I thought he was a heretic, like, that's a thing. Trying to interrogate him because that's why we were there, that's the thing. Ritualistically killing him and reading his soul's future,
That's new.
that's
I mean,
I'm gonna
it's-
say again. Aaron said to me on Facebook, Kevin, I want you to make your character really creepy, like as creepy as one of the NPCs from Trail of Cthulhu. And I did my best to try to live up to that request.
while certainly this isn't like standard behavior, perhaps it's not like so out there.
No, it is in no way out of the realm of possibility or believability as far as 40K goes.